I have some screws driven down into these counter bores, and I've got a 3/8 inch hole here that we can easily fill in with a plug. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut some plugs on a drill press, and I'm going to glue them in, then I'm going to shave them down flat with a face. That way it looks like a nice smooth board, and we won't be able to see the heads of the screws. So let's go and drill some plugs to fit into these holes on the drill press. I have a plug cutter set up in my chuck. I found a piece of material that's going to match my footrest here. So now we just need to cut out 8 of these plugs to fit into all those open counter bores. You're going to go deep enough with this bit so the top of the plug just starts to round over. I'm going to go and cut the rest of these plugs now. These plugs will pry out of the scrap wood real easy with a flathead screwdriver. Just dig it in real deep, and then you can just snap it off and pull out the plug. Now with these plugs, we're going to put the rounded end in first. We need to match up the grain direction as well. That way it's easier for us to trim these down and match the existing grain. So I'm going to take some glue and put that around the edge of the hole here. I'm going to take a hammer and line up my grain direction. I'm gently going to tap it in as far as it'll go. Now I just need to let this sit for a few hours before I can start shaving it down. I'm going to go and plug the rest of these holes. I'm ready to blend the plugs that I glued in yesterday. I let the glue set overnight so it's nice and solid. So now I've got to shave these plugs down so they're flush with the surface of my shelf. I'm going to do this the same way that I blended the inlay material. I need a nice sharp chisel and a hammer. And we're going to need some 220 grit sandpaper and a block to wrap that sandpaper around so we can sand everything nice and flat and flush with the surface. So with the chisel, I'm going to put the beveled edge of the chisel downward. And again, I'm going to go with the grain and just lightly tap layer by layer off of this. Again, if I take off too much with one pass, I risk the chance of chipping out too much of the plug, and I would actually have a chip out of my shelf. So I gently shaved off each of these. Now I'm going to flip the chisel over so the beveled edge is up. I'm going to lay it flat on my shelf. I'm just going to kind of dig in to the plug all the way around it, shave it as close as I can to the surface. Now with my 220 grit, I'm going to wrap it around my block. I'm going to sand it flat. I'm always sanding with the grain. Get off all the glue. Make sure the plug is flush with the surface. Okay, and then I can do that to the other 7 plugs.